Hey there, welcome back to another episode of This Guy's Thoughts. Like always, I appreciate swinging by the channel, taking the time to watch a review. Tonight, I'm going to feature one, well, you see it right there, Guinness Draught Stout. I haven't had this in years. I don't even know when the last time I had this was. Watched a few reviews of it recently and figured, I'm going to pick this up and do a review on it. Plus, it's been so long since I've had this. I've had so many nitrogen-infused beers since then. These guys are probably the granddaddies of the nitrogen beer there, and then breweries like Left Hand, they've kind of taken it to like that next level and everything. So this does not have the ABV or the IBU listed on the can. It is 4.25%, I think 4.2% alcohol by volume. It'll be somewhere around here. And I believe it was 45 on the IBU. I got that off of Untapped, so it should be, I should have it around the screen somewhere or another. So it says established in 1759. So just looking at the artwork there. Typical, pretty cool, just very simple, traditional. I don't know why I look at this and I think tradition. I think it's just because this has been around so long. I'm going to actually give it a 4 out of 5 for the artwork, even though it doesn't list the, well, I can't find the ABV or anything on here. So kind of wish they would have that listed on here. If it is listed on here, I wish it was listed more clearly so I could actually locate it. Right around the top, it also says best enjoyed poured into a glass. So quick Google of this beer, and I came up with, right here it says Guinness is an Irish dry stout that originated in the brewery of Arthur Guinness at St. James Gate, Dublin, Ireland. In 1759, it is one of the most successful alcohol brands worldwide. Brewed in almost 50 countries and available in over 120 countries. So, interesting. A little fact there if you weren't familiar with Guinness or anything like that. I'm sure most of you have had this. So what am I going to use here tonight? I had this on the shelf for, a few years or something over there. I don't think I've ever even used this. So this here is my Guinness Extra Stout shaker pint glass. We're going to use it here tonight and see what it's all about. So very simple artwork there. I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It's just kind of like an old school type of thing going on there. So let's crack this thing open. You're going to hear the nitrogen release. Then I'm going to give it a hard pour into the glass here. We should see a nice cascading effect coming up, rising up to the top. So hear that there. Let's give it a hard pour here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it all in or not. So look at that awesome, awesome cascade. Wow, that is beautiful right there. And that poured out so creamy looking. So the nitrogen, if you've never had a nitrogen beer, I suggest you get out there and try and have one. Try one out. So it should be creamy. Nitrogen adds a nice creaminess to it. Whether it's nitrogen beer, coffee, whatever it is, anything that's nitrogen infused should add a creamy smoothness to the taste. So we still got a little bit of cascading going on there. Just a creamy looking, light brown, dark tan head on top of this thing. Just over a finger of that there. Kind of a brownish color, dark amber to a brownish color to this one here. As far as the nose, get a mild coffeeness to it. A little bit of like a roasted, if not burnt maltiness to this. So this is kind of more of an old school type of stout here. It's not going to probably be, I can't remember it exactly. That's why I'm looking forward to this, really. It's been so long. I don't look for anything like the modern day stouts, the big barrel aged, that loaded with coffee and chocolate and toffee and all that type of stuff there. That's not what this is going to be about. This should just be a good old school, smooth drinking stout. So let's get a drink on this thing. See what it's all about. Very smooth. Let's see if I can get the rest of that in here. Hear that little widget in there rattling around. So, one thing from the drink, it's been so long since I've had this, it is much, much thinner than I remember. I mean, I'm still going to say this is a right around a medium body mouthfeel. But it's been so many years since I've had this and I've been able to drink this. I remember being kind of thicker, but perhaps there's just been so many big stouts and stuff that I've had over the last few years, last several years, that I guess that's the new definition of thickness is what we have now, and this is kind of a thin one, really, compared to some of these modern day big stouts. Kind of thin. It is only 4.2% alcohol, I believe, is what it was. Super easy drinking. Man, just a nice roasted, just like a charcoal maltiness to this. Again, this time around, little less coffee than I remember. I remember having a lot of coffee in it, but perhaps, again, so many modern day stouts have taken the flavors up to the next level that this just feels very mild. I'm gonna almost say if there was a session stout, like a session IPA, kind of like a lower ABV, easy drinking, this would be like a session stout. And I don't ever remember it being like this, but with that being said, super easy drinking, goes down smooth. As it comes across, kind of wet, first sip kind of wet, as it flows through the palate, get a little bit of that burntness, that burnt maltiness, that charcoaly maltiness to it. In the back, that's where I get a little bit of the coffeeness, not a whole lot, it's not crazy. I don't get chocolate or anything like this in it. Just a little bit of a coffeeness, but there's kind of this like a bit of a bitteriness to the back end. I think that might be like a bittery maltiness to this is kind of what I'm picking up. Mild bitter hoppiness to this, but nothing crazy. As far as scoring this, man, just some of the old school, it's just bringing back nostalgia to me. It's just like a bit of old school going on here. Got a warm place in my heart for this. Probably gonna give this, really, give it a 4 out of 5. This is super easy drinking. I mean, it's Guinness, for crying out loud. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. You've had this before, which you probably have. Let me know what you think about it. You think that 4 out of 5 is too high? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. But what do you think about this? Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out my other content, drop a comment down below. Like always, appreciate you swinging by, taking the time to watch a review.